small point that is called a difference between Windows-based OSs and Linux-based OS. Okay, so in Windows we have a desktop OS and server OS. Okay, two types of OSs are desktop OS is like Windows 10 is a desktop OS. Windows Server 2019 is a server OS. Okay, so we have desktop OSs are there and server OS is there. But in a Linux and Unix, mainly it's a server-based OSs only. We don't use for a less for a desktop purpose. Lesser use for a desktop purpose means like Ubuntu desktop. That is a desktop purposes. Not clearly, but at least we can use it like a desktop purpose. But most of the Linux operating system are server purposes only we are using. And we'll go back to the first point, guys. The Linux is open source kind of stuff. What is a open source? The source code of an application or an operating system, okay, is available, or a design of something is available to everyone. So any person can able to take the source code and develop, okay, develop as per their requirement and distribute. So that is called a open source. Free is different, guys. Open source is different. Free application, for example, I have a VLC player. VLC player is free application, but it is not a open source. I have a free application. This is a Oracle VM VirtualBox. It is a free application, and as well as it is a open source also. If you go to that website, you can find the source code also. Okay, so there is an application. Google Chrome is free application, not open source. Okay, the open source is different, and free application is different. The Linux, the kernel part. So as I said, there is an operating system having two parts, kernel and shell. The kernel part of operating system is available in public directly. So 6.9.1 is there. See, I can able to download this, the latest Linux kernel, and develop the kernel as per my hardware or generalized hardwares. Okay, and I develop my shell on it, so I can use it myself or I can distribute it in a public. So that is open source. In a Linux, the person is called a Linus Torvalds. Okay, there is a person called a Linus Torvalds actually developed this Linux kernel. And this kernel is developed and given in a public without any charges, like as a open source, he given in the public. Linus Torvald developed the Linux kernel, first Linux kernel developed by Linus Torvald, and it is given in the public. Okay, as per the GNU or GPL license, it is a open source and free license kind of stuff. And he made there is no proprietary on this Linux. So anybody can able to take it and develop it and distribute it. And Linux is a powerful CLI based. In Windows, we use everything, most of the things, 99%, we use the graphical user interface only. But in Linux, almost all 99%, okay, we use CLI only. Okay, and this Linux is taken and developed and distributed by many people. Many people. Like a Ubuntu organization develop a Ubuntu desktop and Ubuntu servers. CentOS, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Red Hat from Red Hat, Debian, Fedora, Scientific Linux, Kali Linux, Linux Mint, OpenSUSE, Asian Linux, Amazon Linux. Okay, even AWS Cloud use its own Amazon Linux environment. Microsoft Linux. Microsoft also build their own Linux. Okay, because it's a Linux is open source. Anybody can take Linux source code of a kernel and develop it and distribute it. So different distributions of Linux is there. We'll coming to the Windows, guys. Windows operating system is not open source. We cannot take a source code of a Windows operating system and development distribution. That is become unofficial. If anybody is doing it, that is unofficial. Even though that is very difficult to find the open source code of a Windows operating system. It is proprietary of Microsoft. The Microsoft only distribute Windows operating system. Main Windows operating system is GUI based and very less use of CLI inside. Windows is not case sensitive, whereas Linux is case sensitive. Compulsory capital letters, small letters, difference is there. So if I put a case sensitive is here or like this, both are different in Linux. In Windows, both are same. Pay for license. Any Windows operating system, guys, mainly Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows 11 Pro, or Windows 11 Home, or whatever it is, or Windows Server operating systems. You have to pay for the license. Without paying, you cannot use it because without a payment, there is no active license is there. So your system is always give you trouble. You must pay for the license. And a free license is also there. In a Linux is free. Most of the Linux OSs are free OSs only. And Linux is virus free. Linux is not at all virus free. It is not a virus free. But when you say Linux is virus free, there is a reason because of Windows based viruses, mostly .exe, Win32, the registry hooking, like a malware, spyware kind of stuff. So those type of viruses, but the virus which is actually works in a Windows OSs that does not work in Linux. Why? Because of the Linux file system architecture is different. The Linux the OS architecture it is completely different. The executions are different. Okay, so the .exe won't work in any way in the Linux. So obviously, the Windows-based viruses won't work in Linux. And Windows is user-friendly, of course. Nowadays, in a Corona time, so very good for a laptop businesses also increase. So why? Because the schools kids and all they don't know what is a laptop and all. Even parents also don't know, but they can first day one onwards, you can start working with your laptop. Okay, you know basic things, so you can start working and you can slowly learn it. Okay, if you have a basic thing, so you can start using your laptop. But in a Linux is not like that, guys. We need a trained professional because Linux has a lot of vast kind of stuff, lot of commands, lot of things you can able to in a Linux. That too, Linux we actually use as a server, so it's not for any basic users. It is in a we have a administrator account is there in a Windows. We call the admin account as administrator account. In a Linux, it is name is root. Here it is administrator. Here it is root. Is highly privileged user in Linux is root. Highly privileged user is administrator. And we have a talk with Windows is single user multitasking and Linux is multi-user multitasking. And the last point is very important, guys. The very important differences I highlighted. That's the why it is some are underlined, some are not underlined. Required more hardware printed, guys, to run Windows operating system. I want to run Windows operating system. It consumes because this UI it consumes more CPU, RAM, and other things and the additional features. Even I don't use so many additional features, but still I am getting that one. Some are good, some are not. See, for example, this is 37% Sunny, so nifty features. I don't require all these things, but still it is there. Either I have to disable or I have to remove it from my system. Certain features are detail required. Some are required. Okay. So obviously, Windows system running is more hardware footprint. Linux is less hardware footprint. Windows required more hardware footprint. So guys, in a few years back, means like a 3 years, I think. So 2024, right? So it is almost like a 3 years back. So when I was taking this CTS classes, they have this DevOps classes. So how to configure a machine with the DevOps related tools. So I have taken Windows 10 virtual machine and I given 4 GB RAM. Then I installed a Git, working good. I installed Jenkins. It is little slower, but it is working good. Then install Docker, system is freezed. Then I have to increase this 4 GB RAM to 6 GB for my virtual machine. It is very slow, not freezing. That's it. Okay. When I install this Docker, automatically system becomes slower, and it is very freeze. I increase my RAM to 6 GB. Now it is dead slow, but still working. Then I have to increase to 8 GB. But if I increase 8 GB, I don't get a more free available RAM. Okay. So like that, I have a getting struggle with the Windows 10 because of, okay. So point is, it has so much of background applications, services, and GUI that is take more RAM capacity than actual requirement. Coming to the Linux, I switched to Linux environment. I switched to Linux environment. In that one, same thing I installed. I installed a Git, I installed Jenkins, I installed Maven, I installed Docker. So with the help of 2 GB RAM initially, then I increased purposefully for a 4 GB RAM. Okay. Even 2 GB RAM, it is working fine. 4 GB RAM, much faster than normal 2 GB RAM. Okay. See the hardware footprint from here to here. Okay. The CPU consumption, RAM consumption increases in the Windows based OSs. Once again, we'll see the points, guys. Linux is a Linux kernel, not everything. Linux kernel is open source. So the source code of the Linux kernel is available in public. Any person take Linux operating system kernel and develop and distribute it. So like that, Linux have a different distributions by different organizations. Linux is actually developed by Linus Torvalds and it is does not have any proprietary things. Means any person can able to take it, develop it and distribute it and they can use it also. Okay. Linux is cannot run different types of Windows-based viruses like .exe viruses cannot run, so that virus won't affect here. Okay, the free license of Linux is there. Linux is multi-user, multitask. Unless hardware footprint means the basic Linux don't take more disk space, RAM, and CPU space. Whereas a Windows is not about all open source. It is a proprietary of Microsoft. So only the development distribution by Microsoft only. And mainly the Linux is UI based, not CLI based. It's not a case sensitive and you have to pay for the licenses. Okay. So in Windows, we have a desktop OS, server OS, and it is user friendly. Single user, single task, single user multitask. To run Windows system, we need more CPU, RAM, and disk. That's the point. You guys understand the difference between Windows and Linux? Okay. And also you can find not required a core component related, but functionality related. What is the difference between Windows and Linux environment? But this is not contained here, but I am going to add there is an operating system called Windows 10. Of course, current operating system is Windows 11 operating system you are using. So you have to find the new feature. If in case if you are using Windows 11 system, find out the Windows 11 features or the Windows 10. But I am talking about a Windows 10 operating system. Windows 10 operating system contains some features. It's like a integrated OneDrive. Okay. Microsoft Edge. It's not there in earlier. Microsoft Edge browser. What is a OneDrive? Personal cloud storage. Personal cloud storage. If you have any documents or information is there, you can store in a Microsoft OneDrive. Microsoft Edge is web browser in Windows 10. This tablet mode is now not able to show, but it is there earlier. So you can convert like a continuum, that process you call it as a continuum. You can convert our normal desktop into tablet mode, like a two-in-one laptops are there. So you can use as a tablet as well as you can use as a laptop also. That is, it's a tablet mode options are there. The Cortana search is much improved inside. Cortana is introduced, so you can use your voice, or maybe you can use some text. You can search a file in your system, or maybe you can search some information directly. You can able to fetch from internet. Also possibilities there. This Windows Ink is there in a earlier. Okay, this one. This is the Windows Ink feature is already there. Okay. You can make your Windows desktop or laptop as a Windows as a hotspot. Like your mobile phone, you are using a hotspot to share your internet from your mobile to another. So first you have to connect it to your 4G. Okay, then you can able to share your 4G data to other systems. Same way, you have to connect with the wire to your laptop. So then you can able to share the wired internet to over the Wi-Fi kind of stuff. That is a Wi-Fi hotspot also possibilities there. So earlier days we use this control panel for managing everything. Now we have a consolidated settings. So settings with settings, you can able to do it. Microsoft Store. It's like a app store kind of stuff. Using these Microsoft stores, you can download applications and games from here also with the help of adding your own MAC address here. Okay, that is a Microsoft Store. Task view. Virtual desktop. This is a task view, guys. What are the tasks I have run this day, yesterday, day before yesterday? I can able to get from here. Not everything you can get it. And if you see, there is a desktop one and desktop two. In one desktop, you are working on something. In another desktop, you can do another desktop. So only thing is the desktop environment is changed. Now in my system, I can't able to see any other things. Now I can able to see. Okay. For example, here I'm taking the class, but also have to do something. When I have some break time, I will go to the another desktop and I do this programming kind of stuff also. Or maybe I'm doing some running some process there. So I can go to another desktop and I will continue the process and monitor the process. And I can same way in another desktop, I can take the class. That is a virtual desktops, not virtual machines. Both are different. You can log in with the Microsoft accounts also, like a sign in options. We have a we can log in with the Microsoft account, PIN, passwords, yellow, face, uh, yellow fingerprint, picture, password kind of stuff also. You can different types of sign-in options also came with the Windows system. Okay. So these are I have listed only few, so you can able to try remaining things. Windows 10 and its future. Okay. Of course, there is certain features or may not be available here. For example, if you have a Hyper-V, this Hyper-V is the hypervisor used to create and run virtual machines. Okay, create and run virtual machines in your PC. That is the first one, Hyper-V. Okay, but this Hyper-V available only in Pro editions. BitLocker drive in edition. To encrypt and lock the drive with password. You can able to encrypt the drive and lock the drive with the password. But these two features, guys, only available Windows Pro and Enterprise editions in mainly in a Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10, Windows 11, not in Home editions. Okay, so those things from here, it's only available in this one. Not only this, there is so many features are like that, so it's not available in other things. Okay, BitLocker to go. What is a BitLocker drive encryption? It will encrypt your drive and lock the drive with the password. What is a hypervisor? It is a Hyper-V. It is a hypervisor used to create and run virtual machines. It's a kind of hypervisor. Okay, so this is all about a few things about a Windows 10 kind of stuff. Find out each and every feature, what is the use of it. This is your wide Microsoft Edge. Okay. I still not able to remember any other kind of stuff. Yeah, start menu style is different. Okay, that is different. That's it. Okay. Yeah, we have another points. Now I remember. Recovery options are good, like a reset this PC kind of stuff or advance options for a startup repair, startup settings, um, system restore. A lot of features are there. System restore, like for troubleshooting purpose. UEFI settings. Uninstall updates. Okay, so this is also very good in a Windows 10. Anybody remember anything in a Windows 10 or a Windows 11 features? Windows 10 features mainly. I can't able to recollect. Task view, virtual desktop, and yeah, here it is. If you click it, so you'll get other things like a location, Bluetooth, airplane mode, network, projector. All these things are there. Maps. If you have any remember anything, we can add it. Guys, understand at least certain features, how it is, and what is their purposes. No one is speaking anything.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Okay, so what we will do, so there is another point that is called a device drivers. What is a device drivers and how to check the device drivers? It's a main pointers also. Mm. Okay. Up to here, I will stop. So just a minute, I'm going to confirm one thing. It's not like a Wi-Fi extension. It is like a hotspot only. So you ask one question, that is, so if you are using a mobile, how you do the Wi-Fi hotspot? So you receive internet with a 4G signal, right? And you're using your hotspot means with your Wi-Fi only, you're sharing to another mobile. Means you receive with one kind of thing and you're sharing with another kind, like with the help of a bridge kind of stuff. Same goes for laptop or a desktop. You need two things. One is the wide way of connectivity, and you require a wireless type of connectivity. I connected with a wire. The wire from wire I'm receiving internet. From wire I'm receiving internet. Okay. With the Wi-Fi, I can share this internet. I can share this internet through this Wi-Fi. That's what we call it as. That is what we call it as hotspot. This is a like we can able to. Wi-Fi extender means you receive and send. You to receive, you need one antenna. To send, we need another antenna. That is Wi-Fi extender. But it's not extender, it is hotspot only. But you are getting connected. The internet is coming from the wire, so you connected to your laptop or a desktop. And if you have Wi-Fi adapter, with the Wi-Fi adapter, you can share that internet to others. It's a kind of a bridging concept. Okay. Yeah. 1 second, guys. I'll stop the recording here. So